today in Eppy's cock shop. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Chop Shop. And finally getting to that list video. But first and foremost, I'd like to apologize, but I literally never do this. 100 and some odd episodes later, I never promote myself. If you've forgotten, I do have a couple Eppy's Chop Shop t-shirts, hoodies available in my wife's Etsy shop, provided in the link below. So if you would, check that out. While you're here, like, subscribe, share, standard YouTube stuff. Again, I'm sorry for it, but I literally never promote myself. So let's move forward. Like I said, we're finally doing the list video. And in this video, I want to cover A, what's been done on Sandy real quick, B, what I still have to do to Sandy, and C, why plans are ever so slightly changing because I've unfortunately acquired a little hiccup in life. In fact, I'm going to move C to A. As you know, my wife and I just recently moved, and we happen to run into a handful of issues in our house we just purchased. So that's going to be both expensive and time consuming. But without further ado, I don't want to whine and complain, have a pity party. Let's get in the garage. The list. I guess while I'm in the interior, let's start here. And keep in mind, I said I've got like 100 and some odd videos. So everything I list on this truck, there's a video for it. Like I said, I'm in here. So I just did the floorboards and insulation in here. Again, like I said, everything I've done on this truck, there's a video for. We replaced this entire floor, insulated it. We've got metal flake white top. We did a patch job, not on this side, but the other side. Got our chrome strips, our cruising mirrors, our skylips. She's sitting on DJM suspension, I-beams, the shackles and hangers kit from them, as well as a basically a flip kit that I've hodgepodged together through some actual heavy-duty four-wheel parts. But energy suspension and propane suspension bushings through everything on the truck. Again, there's videos for that. Just scroll on down. Up here, ain't nothing really going on under the hood right now, except for our little skull overflow tank with our skeleton hand made out of just nuts and bolts. Again, there's a video for that. Everything I've done on this truck, the headlights, lowering it, all the bushings, the headlights. If I've laid a wrench on this truck, I made a video about it. So check it out. We did speed holes in the bumper, as well as some brackets I fabbed up that lifted the bumper up higher and moved it inward so it fits more flush with the body. It's just body lines look better. There's not a video making the spiderweb tailgate, which I did make, but there is a video doing my hinges. It's like I showed you in a previous video. This opens both ways and is removable. Obviously the entire bed floor is gone. It was just, there was nothing much left of it. So I've got, you know, what you would call a false bed floor under it, and I'll eventually do probably some wood at some point in time over it. C-notch, I gotta finish. Still got to do some purchase for my shocks, but rear end's got to come back out to be finalized, put back together. It's kind of mini, so I got to put my mini spool and everything in it. Everything's just kind of mocked up so I can roll it around. But it's the factory Dana 44 with the mini spool. Other than that, factory gear ratios, and that's about it. So I did do a big patch right here. There's a video of it. Video doing my visors, the brakes, all of the suspension. I mean, everything, every wrench I've turned on this truck so far has been documented. There are very, very few things I've done that I have not recorded. So just scroll on down and check them out if you're interested. Another on the done list is my transmission, besides the fact that it just needs the gaskets. This is just painted and banged together. A little bit of lube on the gears so they wouldn't lock up on me or get rusty or anything. But other than needing gaskets and fluid, that's ready to go in. For original engine, and we will get to engines here in just a second. This is her original engine that has been to the machine shop. It's 40 over, 10 over for crank and everything. And I do have all of the pistons, the cam, everything to make that engine happen. The only really expensive thing that I have to trigger pull on that engine to finish it is going to be some of the heads to the machine shop, which, you know, if they're going to be decked and I'm going to have, you know, them put the valve springs and new valves and everything in it, I'm probably going to have just as much in trying to do those heads as an aftermarket set or getting a set of GT40s or something. So I don't know if I'm going to continue forward on those heads. Another reason being is because I have this. Now this engine hasn't ran in a while, but when it ran, it supposedly ran perfectly. And because of the house situation that I'm about to spend a lot of time and money on, it's going to once again, you know, back burner a project that, you know, I've just been kicking my ass trying to get done. I desperately want to drive that truck this year. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is exactly what I just said. I have to blow this engine apart, check it apart. You know, we just have to tear it down to a long block, get the manifolds off it, get all the main stuff off of it, intake, accessories, check her all out. And if everything appears to be good, I'm gonna probably slide my my cam kit in it, drop it in there. That'll leave me with only needing a radiator and a clutch and a flywheel kit. But this engine would allow me to drive and enjoy my truck pretty much now. But that's pretty much the list, guys. Again, there's videos of everything I've done on this truck, and there's going to continue to be videos of everything I do on that truck and in this garage, on the Ranchero, all of this. So, like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going to blow this engine apart, because that was the list. So, before I get to blowing this thing apart, I did actually do a little bit more research on them, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys this thing. Again, this is an OMC 175 Marine 302. 175 being its horsepower rating. They made a 190 that had the 302 HO 351 firing order, and I believe a different set of heads at 190 horse. And then they did a 235 version that was a 351, but basically the same thing. The differences are basically is a lot of these are reverse rotation, so the starter goes the opposite way, and obviously the engine just goes the opposite way. But other than that, they're pretty much the same thing, besides my engine being a front sump, this being a rear sump. Exhaust manifolds are a super sick design that I think would look cool if you modified them to work in a vehicle or a turbo setup, but clearly not what I'm doing. But these get water cooling via the front, and they come down through here, and these are actually jacketed, so the exhaust comes through the center of this, and then it gets directed down at the bottom here. But there's orifices on the outside of it, so the water flows all the way through the outside of the exhaust manifold, and then dumps. I don't know if it's supposed to come down through here, or if it flows down the rest of the way through this. I honestly don't know that. But other than that, that's about all the differences. I don't know anything about any of this, or any of this, or any of this, or any of this. So, all that's going to get out of my way, I'm going to get this thing on the engine stand, and get the pans and everything off of it, see what condition she is. check it out. So it's just hanging out on the stand, obviously. I have observed thus far that this engine has been worked on. It's got an expanding freeze plug in it. Looks like the other ones may have been out. This one's got like silicone on it. May have been potentially leaking. Again, I have those. The ones in the back here actually look new. Other than that, this has been hands down the easiest, cleanest tear down I've ever done. I mean, considering this is a boat motor, everything is clean. Like even all the water bolts and everything, in the Lightning and in Sandy, these bolts, the studs and shit were all trash. These came right out. So I have super, super high hopes. Alright, got the intake manifold unbolted. I get these here valve cover bolts off and see what this engine looks like. Holy cow! It's so clean! Nice fresh quart gaskets. Dude. This. Everything is so clean and so good. So I got a little bit of water. Looks like I got that interested. That ain't no thing. Dude. Hell yeah. Yep. See, I'm getting high hopes. I'm getting excited. This might work. Alright guys, so as always, I got way carried away and we're ready to stab this thing in here. No, we're way not. This is all just sitting here. But I was so happy with the way this thing tore down, I kind of just mocked it up for shits and giggles. So I knocked all the freeze plugs out of it and just kind of went through and hosed it all out. I did hit it with just a little scrub brush and some degreaser real quick. I'm probably going to do that one more time. Hit this thing with some primer. Paint it, slide my cam in, not necessarily in that order. And I'm going to get my front sump, high volume oil pump on here, and bang this thing in here. Obviously there's a handful of other things I need to do as well. But that's all going to be on the next episode. And the next episode, I'd hate to be putting this engine together. No, I would love to be putting this engine together. In the next episode, I'm actually going to put this thing together, but as you can see, I made a gigantic mess, and I would like to not scratch and grease up all of my nice paint that I've done, and then obviously the engine will be painted as well. But you guys are noisy. You guys are noisy. Beep beep. It's supposed to get down to like 25 tonight. I didn't want the little ones to get cold, but man, I think I'm gonna clock out on this episode of Eppy's Chop Shop. But obviously tune in. Again, I'm like a radiator and a clutch kit, basically from firing this thing up and driving it. Besides building the rear end and shocks, like so close. But again, check out the Etsy shop. Get you an Eppy Chop Shop hoodie. Get you a cartoon shirt. We got the small line of stickers. Like, subscribe, share. Anything and everything you guys do is always so greatly appreciated. You know, I've had, just a couple oddball people even send me stuff. I've got a handful of hot peppers growing right now that even a subscriber sent me. So just, thank you guys, man. You guys are awesome. We're small, but we're strong. So thank you. Deuces.